fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask, grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever I last left off with this series, we had Izuku, or as he is called, Dorzaya. Now, Dorzaya, he, after escaping from the manor he was being held as a slave, he took somebody along with him. A girl who was a servant to the master. Her name was Bella. Now, Midoriya, he got his revenge on the people who sold him out, going back to that village and murdering everybody, along with leaving the first friend Midoriya ever found to die a slow, painful death. Now, if I remember correctly, Midoriya, he is he's at least between level 10 and level 13. Now, Midoriya, he then went back to a larger town, where him and Bella, they stayed the night, got some new clothing, and Midoriya, he was actually able to eat a proper meal. Bella explaining the way this town and this nation does work. Midoriya? Yeah. Hearing a lot about how things work here pissed him off, since slavery is legal. And it does seem like once you are property, people, they seem to devalue you. And they don't see you as such. There are laws in place that basically make it to where once you are enslaved, that lifestyle is nearly impossible to escape from. You either have to be bought or have somebody buy you and then set you free. Now, that is a 1 in a billion chance, however. And Midoriya, he knows that not everybody who escapes could ever get that lucky. Now, Midoriya, he did then decide to head for the Holy Church, where Bella informed him of a demon lord sword. Now, we do have where Midoriya and Bella, they do arrive. Midoriya standing directly outside this area, as he does see a whole lot of people down on their knees praying. And Midoriya, he would ask Bella exactly what is going on here. Well, it's something that happens a lot. Believers, they gather. They offer their prayers to the Lord. And they believe that it helps to prevent darkness from seeping through. Seeping through? Yes. It's believed that the sword emits a powerful, aura. It's like a string to the underworld. It will call forth a dark presence. And if that dark presence ever does get its hands on the blade, it is believed that he could end the world. End the world? Yes. Cast it into darkness and despair. Now, Midoriya, he would hear Bella, as you do actually have where a paladin would come walking up. And they would look directly at Midoriya and ask him why he's not praying. Midoriya turning away from Bella and looking directly back at this person. It's a man in a full suit of plated armor and a sword. I didn't come here to pray. I am new to this region. And in fact, I was curious to see this weapon I've heard so much about. I'm sorry. I cannot allow that. Why? Because the weapon itself, the only people who are permitted to see it is the cleric and priest. Along with that, well, our most holy himself. So, you're just, well, making my suspicions be believed more. Suspicions? Yes. Midoriya loudly announcing that that sword is a fake. Now, you do have a lot of people who do turn their heads as they do stop praying, to look directly at Midoriya. The man turning his head to see people who are beginning to stop. Midoriya announcing to everyone that that blade, it is stupid that the church would hide it in a place so obvious. Asking if anyone here has even laid their eyes upon it. Now, a lot of people they do start looking at each other. And Midoriya, he does see as they all do begin to start talking. Midoriya turning back to the man. I told you that. I was going to go see this weapon. Besides, it might be of use to me. Of use to you? The man going to pull his blade as he does announce to Midoriya that he must give his most sincere apologies. Anyone who does make remarks to holding the blade must be struck down as an enemy of the church. And Midoriya, he does look at the man, informing him that he doesn't need to apologize, since he'd rather hear him scream. Midoriya going to actually pull his own blades out from his sides, as everyone does see this. This stranger is challenging a paladin. Now, the man he does go rushing forwards, and Midoriya he does see what the guy is doing. He's going for a powerful strike downwards, and that's considered to be a swordbreaker swing if he's correct. Now, Midoriya he does dodge to his left as the man he does bring down a powerful swing. As he does so, he does cut into the ground with his sword. Midoriya immediately going to bring up his leg and smash the man directly in the hands. As the guy's hands, they are struck into the right as he does try to grab his blade with his left hand. Midoriya swinging his sword upwards as he does cut it off. Now, the man he does begin to scream, as he does try to activate his own magic. Now, Midoriya he would see that. As the guy he does go to turn his magic, Midoriya he would bring up his hand and cast Fireball. Now, as Midoriya he does cast Fireball, he does hear something. Conditions have been met. Midoriya ignoring that for now, since he doesn't want to pay attention to the skills he might have just obtained, or might be able to learn more about. Now, the man he does see this Fireball as he does go to cast his own magic. Him using wind magic to fling the Fireball directly up into the air as it would explode. Now, that has alerted many other people that something is going on at the church, as paladins and holy paladins do begin to make their way there. And we do then have the man who does stare directly down at Midoriya, as he does go to grab his sword with his right hand. I must commend you. Not many opponents would be able to do that. You must be quite skilled. It's not that I'm quite skilled. I know how to fight dirty. Fight dirty? Do you have no honor in the blade? I haven't had honor in the blade since I picked it up. You sound like a villain. Maybe I am. However, whenever you're forced to murder people like I was, then you have the right to speak to me about that. Now, the man he does look shocked at what Midoriya has said, as Midoriya he does go to rush in. Now, the guy does watch Midoriya. Midoriya he does bring up one of his hands, and instead of casting Fireball, Midoriya he casts his Bloodlust. The guy being shocked as Midoriya he does then go to throw Fireball at him. As soon as the guy he does get back into his right mind, he does go to try and slash to block the attack. However, Midoriya, he already does appear behind the man, quickly moving and going to stab him with his blade as the man he's struck in the front by the massive fireball. Now, as it does happen, you do have believers who do watch Midoriya pick this man up with his blade, and he does then go to pull him downwards by his armor. Midoriya smashing the man over his knee as he does then drop him. Now, the man Midoriya has just done this to, he does lay there, and he's in very bad shape. Now, Midoriya he can hear the man casting some sort of spell, as he does look down at him. I'll at least let you finish casting, or are you praying, aren't you? Now, the man he does look at Midoriya. Midoriya bringing his blade over his head and informing him that this was a nice little fight. It does seem like I'm running into NPCs, or at least people who are stronger. That does make sense. That small little town, well, they don't have what this place has. It also does make sense that this area would be stronger. It's a larger city, and that means more people have more experiences with hunting and other things like that, or even skills. Now, Midoriya he would cleave his weapon down and kill the man, as he does here a level up. Now, Midoriya he does go to check his skills and see what conditions he's met. Now, Midoriya he does look at a few things, and he does find it all to be quite interesting. Now, Midoriya he does look at a few things, along with seeing how many skill points he's just obtained. He obtained 42 skill points just from this man and the villagers back in the other place. So, that's quite interesting. Now, Midoriya he would here stop, as he does go to turn around and see somebody start to walk forwards. Midoriya seeing a man, who does then inform everyone that he will face off against this man alone. And exactly who would you be? Midoriya looking at this guy. The guy explained to Midoriya that he would be the vice captain of the Holy Knights for this particular region. Vice captain? Yes, I have been instructed to protect the church here. Real good job you're doing there. Now, Midoriya he would just go to bring up his hands. As he does, cast 2 fireballs in his direction. The man, him, going to bring his blade up and go to try and slash away at one. As soon as the guy he does slash away at one, the other fireball would hit his men, who did all try to defend. Now, they thought that this was a level 1 or 2 fireball magic, not level 6. Now, the man, he was damaged by this attack. As you do then have Midoriya, he does go to rush forwards and go on the offensive. As you do have where Midoriya, he does look around. And he does then spin around before bringing his blade up to block an attack, before he doesn't bring his leg up and smash downwards into the man's knee. Now, the man he would fall backwards. As Midoriya, he doesn't inform him that that was pretty interesting. He hasn't seen that magic type before. You bastard. Now, the man would ask, how was that possible? Easy. I can hear you. What? You shouldn't be able to. No normal. I'm not a normal human. Now, Midoriya, he does then look back at where the other guy's men all are. As he does just bring his hand up and cast a fireball spell. The man watching the large fireball form in Midoriya's hand, before it does slowly get smaller and smaller and smaller. before doubling in size once again and then doing the same thing. Midoriya setting it that way. As he does ask, what did he just do? Spells with longer recharge times. It's easy. If you quickly cast a spell, it loses quite a lot of power and sucks up a bit of mana. But try doing what I just did, and then you'll see. Midoriya says, as the spell tears apart the guy's men as it does, then explode in the center of their troops. The guy watching that happen, as he's never seen someone cast magic like that. Quite the amount of damage, wouldn't you say? Conditions have been met, conditions have been met. Midoriya does here. Him turning around and going to walk into the church. And the man he does watch Midoriya do this. As Midoriya, he does watch clerics and many other people all stare at him. A commoner just walked into the holy church. This is not possible. And then you do have what Midoriya he does walk up to, where people, they are praying downwards to a sword in the stone. And Midoriya he does think, it's quite funny. In the world where he's from, there's a story about a sword in the stone. It was a sword that saved people, and was only ever used to protect by spilling blood. However, from what he's heard this one, Midoriya does say, him stepping over where these men are praying, where the altar is formed around what seemed to be at least a natural area of land. Midoriya him then going to grab away at the blade, as the man he does go to reach downwards and into his bag. Now, the vice commander, he does grab a book, and he does begin to start opening it as he does want to cast a magic spell. He knows that these things are considered to be, well, items the church doesn't like. However, they are used in dire circumstances where it's absolutely necessary to protect the holy church. And this man, he's trying to take this blade. Now, the man he does then go to stand directly outside the church, holding his weapon. As we do have where everyone is looking around at Midoriya. His hand is wrapped around the hilt of this blade. And there is electricity coming off Midoriya's hands. As people are informed Midoriya that that sword will rip him apart from the inside out, if he does not let go of it. Now, Midoriya here just bring up his other hand, and grab onto it, as he does continue to pull. Now, everyone does watch, as Midoriya he does rip this sword directly out of the natural stone. And everyone, they're looking on in horror, as this man just ripped out what they believe to be the Demon Lord's sword. Now, Midoriya he does then spin the blade around and go to look at it, as his menu does inform him of this specialized weapon. Weapon obtained. Sword of the Demon Lord follower. Follower. Yes. The sword that you are currently holding in your hands. This sword. It is a sword of a follower of the Demon Lord cult. Demon Lord cult? Yes. The cult of the Demon Lord is said to be an organization that, Midoriya being cut off whenever the man behind him, he does inform Midoriya to face him. He will take out the Demon Lord himself. Now, this man, he knows exactly how outmatched he might be. However, if he does use his grimoire, they should be on even playing fields. Along with that, Midoriya, he's just used a bit of magic that should be depleting his mana. Now, Midoriya, he does then here, unique skill obtained, unique skill obtained, unique skill obtained. And he is surprised. Midoriya turning around, as he does then inform the man that if he's not going to attack him in the House of God, then is he really trying to protect it? The man bring up his hand with the blade inside of it, informing him that he will not spill blood in the house of the Lord, since that would go against his oath as a paladin. Now, Midori he doesn't start to laugh, informing the man that his oaths mean nothing to him. And Midori he would then go to look down at the weapon, as he does then open up his skill branch for his menu. And Midori he would read what it does say. He has gained about 3 skills. And Midori he is surprised. The first skill, it does seem to be some sort of striking skill, and it does sound pretty interesting. The second skill, it is something Midoriya he does not know. It just has a question mark, along with at least something else by it. And then Midoriya, he does then also see where the skill, it does talk about something. Now, Midoriya he does go to bring his hands up. Him dropping his second blade as he does hold on to the sword of the Demon Lord follower, or the follower of the Demon Lords. Now, Midoriya he does go to use his mana. As the people inside the church, they all do go to turn and run towards the door. Midoriya, him, then going to slash directly from left to right as if he's swinging a baseball bat. As he does do so, you do have where Midoriya, the skill he just used, sends a blade of air flying through the church, as it does cut down everyone in front of him. Now, Midoriya he was surprised, as that skill immediately jumped to level 3. And Midoriya he did then go to bring his hand up and swing the sword from up to down. Now, the man he did then go to at least defend himself with a wall of air, as he is flung backwards and sent directly down into the city. As Midoriya he does walk out, holding this weapon as Bella she does stare on in surprise. You're using that sword. I told you once it wasn't real. It's not? Yes, it's not. A cheap imitation, but a very useful one at that. Oh, sorry. Do not apologize to me. Now, Bella she does just stay quiet, as the man he does come flying up in what seems to be a small tornado. Midoriya he would see that. As the man, he does inform Midoriya that he will take him down in the name of Midoriya attempting to use one of the mystery skills. As soon as he does, Midoriya and the man, Midoriya, he does disappear from view, as he does directly appear behind the man as he is falling down. Midoriya slashing into his back, and then going to, with his hand, grab the book that is floating there. As Midoriya he does grab the book, he does go to cast a fireball directly onto it, as the book does burn. Now, the man he does go falling forwards with his, back cut open. Midoriya him then turning around as he does rush in. As soon as Midoriya he does rush in, he does directly catch the man right as he's about to fall off of a ledge. The man looking up to where Midoriya is. You saved me? I'm not through with you yet, Midoriya would say. Him pulling the man over and tossing him behind him, as he does inform him to give him an actual fight. If he can't do that, then he doesn't deserve to be alive. Now, the man, he's horrified. This guy, his power is overwhelming. He doesn't understand, alone that he's wielding that sword. The man dropping to his knees and beginning to pray, trying to pray for a miracle. And Midoriya he does see that this man's already lost the will to fight. Midoriya using one swift movement to take the man's head. Now, as it does actually happen, you do then have Midoriya. He does inform Belle that they're leaving, and she does just watch on in horror. Now, Midoriya he does go to put the sword directly down by his waist, and he does then hear his menu inform him once again that unique skills may have been acquired, or may be able to be purchased. Now, Midoriya and her, they do leave back to the wagon, where Midoriya, he does sit down and look over everything. To Bella, she's turns her head, and Midoriya, he's just sitting there with his legs folded behind her. However, Midoriya, he's going through his entire skill list. What he can buy, purchase, and obtain with his unique conditions he met. Along with that, these two skills he's found out the use for. The third one, yeah, he doesn't understand it. It might be an ultimate skill if he had to guess. Since reading the use of it, it does just show that it does take up a ton of mana. Midoriya, using his skill points to upgrade his body's dexterity, strength, and speed. Along with actually putting, let's just say, actually, yeah. Let's say he does at least put more points into that ultimate skill. Or his second skill. Now, Midoriya, he has reached level 15. And he is having quite a bit of fun. As you do actually have somewhere really quickly. A man, him and his wagon, is going up to visit an old friend. He wants to make an offer on a slave that he found particular interest in. And Midoriya, or this man, he does pull up to the Oxwald Manor to find that it is completely burned down to the ground. And he was shocked by this. Now, around this time was whenever the battle in the city was taking place. After Midoriya and this man, fought, Midoriya, whenever this man was leaving the manor, he heard the shock wave from the city, or at least the loud sound that did travel over miles. Now, he was quite confused. However, you do actually have his guard who does inform him that may have come from the city. And he was quite concerned. Now, we do actually cut to inside the city as well, where they did see that epic fight Midoriya had against a paladin and then a vice captain. They found that to be quite interesting. They want to know more about this guy. He's clearly very powerful. And the fact that he's a swordsman is just better. They need a master to train under. Maybe if they can learn more about what he knows, they can grow stronger. As they did follow Midoriya back towards his wagon. Now, as that did happen, you did have where Midoriya, he was trying to think. Okay, so he just battled against all those people at the church. And if he's correct, he left none of them alive. Even the believers outside got caught up in the crossfire. So, he should be alright, but even then, he doesn't care. If anyone comes after him, he'll just kill them too. What are you thinking about where they can go next? As he does actually think about it for 1 second. If he's remembering things correctly, this is some sort of, fantasy world. It's quite like a lot of TV shows and things he knew were on TV back, in the day. So, if he's right, there should be something called I don't know, what would it be called? It's considered to be a level up center or a guild building if he thinks correctly. A faction center, right? Now, Midoriya, he would ask Bella about that. Does she know where a guild building is, as he thinks it's called? A guild building? I believe so. Isn't that where adventurers they sign up for stuff? Yes, it is. Are you going to kill them? Hmm? Sorry. No, I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, that man back there, he would deny me something that I wanted to do. I don't work like that. If anyone tells me that I can and can't do something, then it's quite simple. I'll do it. They don't control me anymore. Hmm. Oh, okay. But did you have to kill them all back there? Yes, I did. This weapon isn't the sword of the Demon Lord. What? Really? Yes. It's the sword of one of his followers. Along with that, there's a skill here that it gave me. I don't know exactly what it does, but it eats a lot of mana. I'm curious about it though. Oh, really? That's cool. Yes. Now, Midoriya and her they would head towards the guild building. As Midoriya would walk in, and you do see where a few people are all walking around. And Midoriya, he does hear a few things. Now, certain people are talking about how something went down at the church earlier today, or at least it just happened. Others are talking about certain quest. And we do have Midoriya, he does walk up and see the woman in front of him. As Midoriya can clearly tell that she's a demi-human. Hello, sir. What can I help you with today? I'm curious. Can anyone become an adventurer? Well, that's not just everyone. We must assess your magical powers. At least that way we can get an accurate reading on you. Along with that, the lady then saying that they have to at least assign Midoriya his first mission and stuff. That is part of their protocol. Now, Midoriya, he would ask this woman to give him a difficult one. Midoriya asking him to hunt down a pack of wolves, or at least giant animals. Now, the woman would inform Midoriya that that is a level 3 quest. And she doesn't believe that Midoriya, he would be able to, Midoriya holding out his hand and showing the lady the giant scar on his forearm. As a few people who were looking in Midoriya's direction, they do see his arm. Midoriya pointing out that right here on his left hand, those giant bite marks that are covering the top and bottom of his forearm are from a giant. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. However, as I've stated, a giant that I murdered. Well, I'm sorry? Yes, I faced off against a giant and killed it in single combat. Now, assign me that damn quest. Yes, right away, sir. Now, the woman, she does hear about Midoriya's demeanor, and she does stare at him. The way this man is, he's well assertive, and he doesn't take no for an answer when it comes to what he wants to do. Now, the lady, she would give Midoriya a quest and then inform him that upon his return with the tails of these wolves, he will be given about 10 gold each for their deaths. And Midoriya, he would actually go to spin around and go to walk away. As the lady, she does somewhat understand Midoriya a bit more, whenever there's something peeking out of that long hair of his. She can't really tell, but there's a symbol on the back of Midoriya's neck. And she does at least have her, well, this guy's an asshole to, okay, I think I understand what he is a bit more. Now, Midoriya, as he is leaving, he does bump into a man of full armor. Midoriya, looking at this man, is it's a full plate that does look worn. Midoriya looking at the man as he does stare at Midoriya for a second. Now, the man Midoriya he doesn't pay attention to, He does just think that that red feather on his head looks stupid, before he does continue to walk away. Now, with that being said, if anyone understands that cameo, yeah, good on you. I do believe that this is a good point to leave this series off of. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. Catch you guys in the next part.